Hi, Wise Elves. I'm in my kitchen now, and I wanted to talk about the letter of the week and do a couple of fun projects, some things you can do at home with your family. But first, guess what day it is? If you said French Fry Friday, you're right. I brought our funny French fries home from school. It's French Fry Friday, and I got my calendar off the wall. And on the calendar, this is the month of April, and today's the 17th. So we're going to go to Friday, and we're going to go down and find the number 17. So let's count, starting with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 days in April, and the year is up here, 2020. So that's my calendar. Some of you have calendars that you have on your wall at home, maybe even in your bedroom, I don't know. Maybe on the desk. All right. And we're going to take a look at our letter of the week. We are doing another letter, and we're just a couple of letters away here from the end of the alphabet. We're going to look at letter Y today. This is letter Y. And Y has 2 lines in it. It has a big line and a little line. Put them together like that, and you got Y. All right. What starts with the letter Y? Let's make the Y sound. Yeah, 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 yeah. This is something yummy. It's called yogurt. Some of you might be having a yogurt today for lunch. I had a yogurt for breakfast, and I like to put fruit in it. Let's see if you can guess this one. This is something inside of an egg, and it's yellow. It's called the yolk. Yolk. Y-O-L-K. Yolk. It's the yolk of the egg. It's right in the middle. And this is something I have on the table we're going to do a little science experiment with. It's called a yam. And yam is spelled Y-A-M. You say yam? Yams are yummy. Ooh, there's another Y word. We're looking at some things to eat. Now here's something you don't want to eat. It's fuzzy, and usually it comes in a ball or a skein. It's also on the table. It's called yarn. I'm sure you guessed that. Yarn. It's spelled Y-A-R-N. Yarn. This is a toy that you might have and you like to play with. I'm going to try it out later. It's attached to a string, and it goes up and down, and you put it on your finger. Did you say yo-yo? This is a yo-yo. Yo-yo. I love yo-yos. I need to practice so I can do fun tricks with that. All right, your homework this week is a yak. He is an animal, he's a mammal, and he has some horns. And he's playing with a yo-yo, that silly yak. So practice your Y's and practice writing yo-yo and yak. So that is something you can do. Something else you can do, something fun to do with yarn. So depending on what you have at home, you can do this with string too. I like to take a ball of yarn and take the end of it, and I like to give it to somebody. And that person holds on to it and starts a story. And you could do this with your family, with your brothers and sisters and your mom and dad. And you could go around in a circle, or you can crisscross back and forth. Maybe you could end up making a fun design or a web. And you pass the ball of yarn. You could say, once upon a time, there was a boy. And then you pass the yarn ball to somebody else, and they take hold of the yarn. And so you are connected, and that person tells a part of the story. And they say, the boy rode his bicycle to the park. And then you pass it around. So try that out. It's really fun. Something else you can do with the yarn, you can measure a yard of yarn. And so I got my measuring tape out here, and I measured 3 feet. 3 feet is a yard. And you can take that yard of yarn and cut it. Have your mom and dad get you a pair of scissors and cut that with you. And you can take that yard of yarn and go around the house or outside and see what you can measure that is a yard long or 3 feet long. Maybe your little brother and sister is 3 feet tall. You can put that on the ground and see if they're 3 feet tall. I measured it earlier, and I measured this table is a little bit shorter than 3 feet. But if you look, it's about 3 feet almost, a little bit more than 3 feet across the table. Then something else fun to do with your yarn is take a piece of paper and make a design with your yarn on the paper. You could take some glue and you can put your glue on the paper, and you can make a fun little squiggly design and stick your yarn right on there. And just make a fun little design. Earlier in the week, I talked about making a treasure map. You could make a treasure map using your yarn. Follow the yarn to the treasure. Maybe you can make the letter Y. This almost looks like the letter S or C. Maybe you can make some flowers. It's that time of year for lots of flowers. So that's just a fun thing you can do with yarn. Maybe your mom or your grandma or somebody in your family knits, and they use knitting needles with yarn. And they can make sweaters and hats and scarves and gloves. So I have one more little project for you. I love to eat yams, but this yam I kind of forgot about. It was sitting in my fruit bowl, and it started growing little roots. So instead of throwing it away, and I didn't want to eat it because it's growing roots, it's old, I decided that I would put it in a jar of water and watch the roots grow and see if I could grow a yam plant. You can actually do this with potatoes, and you could do it with an avocado. And so what you want to do is you want to put some sticks I'm using little bamboo skewers. Your mom and dad have to help you with this. It's really hard to push those in there. Sort of looks like a little person now with arms. And I feel like 4 of these is good to put those in. And just put one on each side. Poke it in there. And then I cut a little bit off the bottom. And then you're going to put it down in a jar of water. And it's just going to sit there. And then these roots will grow because now it's got water. And the roots will grow into a plant. Pretty soon there'll be leaves on there. And you can plant it out in your yard. And you can grow your very own yams. Or if you do it with potato, you'll grow potatoes. Or maybe an avocado tree if you use an avocado pit. See what you can do. And it's really fun to watch down inside the jar all the roots that will grow in the water too. So that's a fun project for the letter of the week, Y. So I hope you had fun seeing the projects. I've got one more little thing I'm going to show you is my yo-yo. I don't know any tricks, but let's give it a spin. All right, ready? Here we go. Hey, I did it. So if you have a yo-yo at home, practice. Practice makes perfect. It takes a couple of tries, but you'll get it. All right. We'll see you later, guys.